Oh, hi. This week, almost forgot the arm gesture. This week, we're doing another studio vlog, market prep, small business diaries type thing. I also have a trivia game I'm going to be hosting later this week, so I'll walk you through how I build the game. I mean, it's only Tuesday morning, and it has already been a time. I'm not sure how this week is going to go. Hopefully okay, but I definitely feel very out of it. To get the overshare part out of the way, I didn't realize till late last night that yesterday was the 5th anniversary of my dad passing, and all day yesterday I just felt like I was floating away. I couldn't focus on anything. I felt like I was hovering, like I couldn't land on anything, like really sleepy hummingbird. I couldn't decide where it was gonna go. And granted, it's not like I never feel that way, but I had had a nice relaxing weekend. I'd gone to a wedding. I took almost all of Sunday off. So starting Monday morning, I did have a dentist appointment. Not that I love getting stuff scraped. Honestly, the sound is the worst part, but having had my teeth cleaned is a nice feeling. And I didn't even need any follow-up care, which I have very bad teeth, just hereditarily, genetically. Absolute crap teeth. I take very good care of them, but I can only fight against my body so hard. I was starting the day off on a really good foot, but yeah, couldn't figure out why I was so off, and then all of a sudden it hit me last night. So I'm calling yesterday a wash. I did get fabric cut out for some mini bags I want to make, because I got some quarter yard cuts sometime earlier in the summer of some really fun fabrics, and then just smaller pieces of stuff that I had sitting around otherwise. Things I'm very much looking forward to making. And these will go together a lot quicker because, in addition to mini bags amongst this pile here, I have cut out definitely too many shoulder sling bags. I don't even know how many are in this stack, so pray for me, but I have an event in just under 3 weeks that's gonna be spooky bitches galore, because it's an oddity market and I'm very much looking forward to that. And then event I have a week after that is the Granite State Comic Con. I'll have a more nerdy inventory focus, but still have some spooky shit, because those two categories are not mutually exclusive. The way I've been describing my table setup and the things that I sell for my small business is if Wednesday Addams and Enid had a baby. So anyway, I give this preamble for what I'm about to get into because I'm actively trying to be kind to myself. I feel like I have an emotional hangover from last night, because a whole day's worth of intense physical feeling hit my brain all at once, and I had a rough go of it last night. So trying to recuperate this morning, I'm listening to a podcast that someone I went to high school with is getting interviewed on, and I've been following his career from a distance, but we weren't best friends growing up. I just thought he was one of the coolest people I went to school with. He's taken a very interesting route to become a TV writer, and especially with the strike going on, this is a really interesting conversation. It's called A Typical Disgusting Display. And as expected, it's been very fucking funny so far. I'm gonna listen to that, and I just have a lot of pieces to press out, so I'm gonna turn a fan on because it's gonna get up into the 80s today and just iron out stuff, and it's not gonna take a lot of brain power. I'm basically just gonna work until my shoulders hurt too much, because those have been really achy the past couple weeks. I'm treating this as a chill work day. Obviously it's not a rest day, but I don't have a particularly ambitious list for today, because I think if I push it, I'm just gonna burn myself out and be useless for the next couple weeks. The other thing I'm gonna end up working on, and I did start a little bit yesterday, is I need to build a trivia game. I'm hosting a Doctor Who themed trivia on Thursday, so the day before you're seeing this. It is a lot of work, but I get to pick whatever theme I want, and I just get to do a deep dive on some of my favorite fandoms. Also, speaking of the writer's strike, I'm specifically doing Doctor Who this month. I'm probably overthinking this, but it's kind of my MO. I'm gonna start ironing things until I can't do it anymore. Have I mentioned I can't do accents? Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now. a good nap? You wanna go outside? Okay, let's go outside. So when I'm cutting up dumpling pouches, the pattern says to cut them on the fold. I can't always cut pieces on the fold if it's a directional fabric. So if I have to cut it in two, I add some extra seam allowance at the bottom since I don't actually have it on the fold, right? So it'll still end up being the same size once this and this are sewn together. It will then be this size just with the seam at the center bottom. You probably followed along plenty without that over explanation because interfacing is easily the most expensive thing that I end up having to purchase, and I don't need to interface the seam allowance of everything. I can honestly probably cut this down a little bit more. I wanted to make a little template so that when I cut the interfacing, I'm wasting as little as possible and like cutting it exactly to the size that I need it. I do the same thing for, I try to do it for most of my pattern pieces. So this is the size fabric piece I cut for my keychain bags, but then this is the interfacing pattern. So it's a little bit in each side. Easy peasy. All right, I'm really bad at getting caught up in projects in here and not feeding myself. So I started to feel hungry. I am gonna have some ravioli with spinach in it and Alfredo sauce, and then I made some garlic toast. So gonna camp out, hang out with Bert for a little bit, watch some of Good Omens because I've been watching through that. And I've been in here for like 7 hours straight, so I feel like I've earned a break. Okay, I ate food. Bert was very close to sucking me into a nap, but he did not succeed. He's taking a nap, but I watched a little bit of an episode of Good Omens and then got distracted by my phone because I got a text about Hank Green. It literally just said, have you heard about Hank? And I was like, oh God, please don't do that to me. And then it was in fact just that he is in full remission, which is a relief. Like, I don't know the man, but he's had an impact on the entire adult half of my life. Like, I started watching them in 2007, which was 16 years ago. Literally almost half my life. And I think him and John have had net positive impacts on the world. So it would be a real fucking shame if we were to lose him. So I'm glad that he's doing okay. Anyways, I just counted how many of the dumpling pouches I have cut out and the linings, and there are 44 in this pile here. So 88 pieces of fabric, actually more than that because some of these are cut into half, but that's quite a bit. So I took the rest of these Ursula tentacles that I have laying around, because of course I do. Have I mentioned I used to work at a costume shop? I traced out that little outline that I made, and I'm thinking I'm gonna baste all of these on. I am debating if I'm gonna do that with basting stitches, either by hand or with my industrial machine, or if I literally just buy basting spray and give these all little spritz and attach them. I feel like that's probably the smartest move if I'm making so many of them, because outlining each of these by hand seems a little excessive. So I can decide on that tomorrow, I guess. This is making me curious how many of the keychain bags I have cut out, which, other than me picking out zippers, these are all prepped. They're interfaced, the tabs have been pressed into their shape, so like, these are ready to fly. But yeah, I'm gonna see how many I have. Why am I like this? So 44 dumplings, 55 keychain. Do I even have enough like actual keychain hardware pieces for this? I don't think I do. I'm confident I have enough zippers, almost exactly 100. I need 99 zippers. I have all of these zippers. Then this entire thing is also full of zippers. Most of them are not applicable to this type of project I'm working on. We should be covered. All right. And I don't need any zippers for the shoulder sling pouches. While we're here, I'll do a quick count of those. Oh, and I do have a little bit of batting left over from when I did my t-shirt quilt. I have some narrow strips I can use for the shoulder strap padding. And then I have this piece that, like, if I need more dumpling pouch foam, I can use that. And then I have some fusible fleece here, like a yard or two. I have a whole roll of batting for quilt that's not fusible or anything, and that should cover whatever's left of these big bags. Half the panels for the outer base of the bag are out of vinyl, so I'm not interfacing those. Those will be sturdy enough on their own, but the main outer panels are kind of big for these. It's like 2 of these per bag. Those need to get interfaced. That's 16. Once I have the rest of the prep done, like once these are interfaced, I've already put in like a couple days of work just getting this stuff cut out. I haven't pressed it all yet. Once that prep is done, it's still another 2.5 hours to 3 hours to sew them together. And that's if there are no hiccups and nothing goes wrong. Here's what I'm gonna do. I wanted to make sure I had enough dumpling pouch foam pieces to finish that pile, but like, I can sit and cut these out while I watch Good Omens. That'll be fine. If I don't have enough, I have the backup foam to do that exact thing. For most of the bag panels, as many as I can, I'm gonna use the fusible fleece. And then perhaps for the narrow strap pieces, whatever's left over from the fusible fleece, if any, I can use that. If not, I can move on to just the batting, because it's puffier, so I'd rather have that on the strapping. Off we go. Wish me luck. I'm very sleepy. Okay, it's a little after 10. I have, I don't know, like half of the big bags interfaced. I think I'm gonna call it here. I haven't cut out the dumpling pouch foam. I think my plan will be to go out and get more fusible fleece tomorrow, as well as basting spray, because I need to work smarter, not harder. And I've already made this harder on myself than it needs to be. And I have to say, even though I bought a bunch of new fabric for like the main panels of these bags, because I just couldn't resist, I have used so much of my stash. Like, I have boxes and boxes of fat quarters that I've been gifted, layer cakes, and just stuff I've been hoarding for a long time. So small pieces like the pockets and the side panels of the lining and stuff like that. I'm able to use up quite a bit of it. So yes, there is new fabric involved, but it is getting me to use a bunch of it. So I actually feel very good about this. And I've had Ursula tentacles around for 5 years. I've had some of this fusible fleece, actually probably not for that long, but it's helping me use up little scraps of like older chunks of fusible fleece. And Bert is insisting that I go to bed. So that is also why I'm calling it quits now. I have to get up early tomorrow because of a delivery we're supposed to be getting. I have to like deal with that. He was chasing me around, barking at me, like trying to herd me to bed. So I'm gonna go snuggle him, conk out for the night, early start tomorrow, get right back at it. I definitely made a lot of progress. I can't believe I have 115 bags I'm trying to make. I really genuinely tried to like slow my roll this time, and this is what happens. Granted, 99 of them are like mini bags essentially. All right, I just got really sweaty, so you know, just typical Sewing Nerd Studio shit going down. Hi, little bean. Oh, so stinky. It is 8 o'clock. 7:52 in the morning, Wednesday morning. Bert is fully charged. I think he knows I'm getting ready to leave. I have my socks in my hand and my shoes are right here. I won't be gone long. Hopefully I can just go to this one store. What are you digging at? Are you shaming me for not working on any of the cosplays I have set aside? He's digging at one of my project bags. I don't appreciate this sassitude I'm getting. Okay, I think if I run out to the store right now, I can keep my motivation up. Off to the store. Bert seems to be calming down. He's getting some of his energy. So, yes, checklist for the day. I got the other house errands chores. I think those are called chores. Taken care of. I don't have to worry about the delivery anymore. And then, oh, okay. I get Etsy notifications and it doesn't say in the preview what it is. So if someone's ordered something, it looks the same as when someone has favorited something. So I just want to make sure I didn't have an order to take care of. Someone favorited my Sonic bags. I will say, completely dead all summer. I genuinely think I've gotten maybe 5 orders since May. And I'm very thankful for those. This isn't me like complaining about it. It can feel a little discouraging sometimes, but also like every summer this happens. Every summer. So like just trying not to take it personally. But now that we're getting back into fall, specifically leading up to Halloween, which is like my bread and butter. Little guy, are you ready to get tucked in on the couch so I can go run some errands? Don't go into my backpack. He's fully just stuffing himself into my TARDIS backpack. Hey. All the other stuff I need to take care of is done. Gonna go to the store, basting spray, interfacing. I don't need any more zippers. Part of me was like, oh, look at the zipper. No, I'm not buying any zippers. I'll acquire some breakfast in my travels. Anyway, cheers. I'll be back. No luck. Damn it. Okay, let's look for basting spray. I found some basting spray. I looked on just some quilting websites to see what ones don't gum things up. Kind of have like a finer mist is what I was hoping for. It was $8.87, so also like the cheapest of the options. So I was gonna use fusible fleece if I could find it. Again, I don't feel like going to Joann's. So I think what I'm gonna do is, since I have the basting spray, I'll see how it works on the dumpling pouches. And as long as it goes okay, I will use the basting spray to adhere the quilting batting that I have to the rest of the bags, because I want that weight foam interfacing, whatever, on it. And none of the options here were going to be heavy duty enough for what I was looking for. I have some lighter weight interfacing at home, but even that I don't have enough to do everything. Like I have a little bit of SF 101 left, and I'm almost out of that somehow. I've gone through multiple bolts of both SF 101 and fusible fleece this year, which goes to show how much I've been making. But still, I'm gonna see if there are still breakfast sandwiches at the grocery store I go to, because they're so good. I have stuff to make one at home, but also it's like $2 for one of those. And they're just better when someone else makes them, you know? So I'm gonna treat myself a little bit, because that was also like half the price of what I thought it was gonna be. Also, the hand sanitizer I got has like a little bit of lavender to it, but not too much. It's like just a little bit. I should get there in time that they won't be sold out. It's Wednesday at 9 a.m. Unless there's been a mad rush on groceries this morning. I should be okay. But I've been burned before, so let's hustle. Okay, I also bought some fruit, but I did... on my way to the register, got the very last breakfast sandwich. And it's a French toast breakfast sandwich, which I don't dislike. I wish the French toast was more French toasty. I think it's just like cinnamon swirl bread, essentially. Also, I always have this water bottle with me. I had a different one that had like a straw pop top, and I used it all the time. I understand that like it's not hard to open this, but it's like just enough extra stuff to do. Like it's harder to do while I'm driving. I need both hands. I could just drink the other one one-handed. It got very gross, and there was no way to properly clean it. Like, I promise I tried, and I'm sad to lose all those stickers. I had that water bottle for years, and it served me well. It's a Contigo, like, pop-top one. And not that I'd be opposed to another one, but, like, I know that, like, they have a shorter lifespan. But I notice I'm drinking a lot less water now that I don't have both water bottles going, like my big one and the other one. Like, this one's nice because it holds more. The other one was nice because it had a straw top. I did get one of these kinds of water bottles just because I know I'm gonna drink more water. Is it gonna come on? If I can open it, if it has a pop top like this. So I'll just make a point to reuse this and go from there. If anyone has recommendations on like a sippy top water bottle, reusable water bottle that doesn't have like a rubber straw, I can't be the only one having this issue. All right, time check. It is almost 10. I think this prep I'm working on is going to take me longer than I am currently thinking. What I might end up doing is work in here for however long, make a nice big lunch, and then after that go to the brewery that I work at, Rockingham, where I am hosting the Doctor Who trivia tomorrow. As much time as I need to finish building the game, because being out, it's like working in a library or a coffee shop or something. Because I also do not drink very quickly, so I sometimes get through a beer while I'm there doing work like this. I edit videos there too sometimes. Yeah, the other thought that I had is once trivia is done, and I would like to show you at least like the setup that we have at the brewery for it, if not me actually running the game for a little bit, but we'll see. And then I'm gonna post this for Friday. So basically my whole Friday will be me editing, I think. That is the only thing I'm planning for Friday, because I post at 5 o'clock Friday afternoons, East Coast time. Not that I think any of you will come at me with like pitchforks and I was gonna say flaming swords. I'm watching too much Good Omens. I don't think you'll come at me if it's like a little bit late. I'm not planning it to be. But if I have Friday to edit, I usually don't like editing the day the video is going up. This is the current week that's going to be going up, so I kind of need to do it that way. It is officially 10:01. I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to finish prepping these bags. Just watch some like other people's studio vlogs, or just put on some music that is like motivating. I will see you once all of this stuff is prepped. Wish me luck. I'll do a time check once we're done there. God I set reminders for myself in my phone. Oh God, why do I feel like I'm shaky? I don't know why I didn't write this on my calendar. I have therapy in half an hour. God damn it. It will be a very good day to have a session. I had a very hard time earlier this week, and I am still upset about it. So, like, there's something I wanted to talk to her about. I don't know why I thought it was like 2 more weeks till my next appointment. I'm currently going every 3 weeks, so I would have gone, yeah. Oh my God. This is why I have, like, you can see all the blue dots are things like this to remind me. And I have an alert pop up half an hour before, if not more. Thank God. It's funny because last night I was still so upset about something that happened Monday in relation to stuff with my dad. I don't need to get into it, and I need to talk through it. So for one of the only times ever I had considered reaching out to my therapist on an off week, like I go every 3 weeks right now, where I started out every week, then we moved to 2 weeks, and now it's every 3 weeks. And I was like, probably before long we'll end up doing like once a month, because I feel like I am better at walking myself through things without just beating the ever-living shit out of myself, which is a stark improvement. I approach a lot of things with kindness, but now that includes myself. I did. I almost reached out to her yesterday to talk about what happened, which is not something I've done before, is like talk to her on an off week. Because usually I'm like, I have an amazing support network of friends and I can talk things through. Sometimes I'll leave a voice or like video message for them, and it's me going on a forever long ramble, talking myself through the situation and explaining it to someone else. And in the explanation, realize, oh, right, yeah, this is a good week to go to therapy. That's when I'll realize my brain completely just checked out. Talking at someone sometimes is enough for me to figure it out, and then I just delete that message, because like having that French to be a sounding board served its purpose. They don't necessarily actually need to listen to what I say at them. I don't know. Oh, I still gotta cut out the dumpling. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just gonna baste the big bags. That's all we're doing right now. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Thank God for a reminder. I don't have it on either of my calendars. Let me go check, actually. Yep. No, normally I would write therapy at 11 o'clock, and that is not written there. Son of a bitch. Okay. It's fine. It's literally why I make these alerts for myself. I know. Also, can you tell I'm frazzled? This week of all weeks is the one where I need to like be okay with not having my shit together. It's okay to not have my shit together anytime, but specifically the anniversary of my dad passing, I think, is at a reasonable window of time to be extra flexible with myself. Clearly it's catching me off guard this year, somehow. But also it does it every year. Even if I put it in, well, I'm not going to set a calendar reminder to be like, remember what happened today. But usually the week leading up to that, it's like my body knows before my brain does. And clearly, I don't think I'm actually going to have time to base this. I have 10 minutes before I have to leave the house. So it's going to be fine. I can at least separate these piles and then go. Maybe I bring Bert with me. I have like really intense anxiety tummy now. So great. Having a awesome week so far. Okay. I'm back from my therapy appointment. My therapist urged me to like take a me day, like go kind of just listen to myself, and if I have an impulse, as long as it's not harmful, go and follow it. So I did end up going to Joanne's after all. After I left my appointment with her, I just felt the need to drive, and then the direction I was going was kind of in the direction of a Joann's. I didn't get fusible fleece because I wasn't thinking, and I'm trying not to be hard on myself for that. I came up with a different solution. I did cut the rest of these out. I'm so close to finishing Good Omens. I'm literally on the last episode. So I cut the rest of these out, and then I didn't have quite enough for all the dumpling bags, so I cut extra ones out of the rest of the batting. So I have pieces of foam cut for anything I don't have interfacing for. Almost all the interfacing, I literally have like 6 pieces that aren't attached yet. The rest are foam. That's all gonna need to get spray basted. I think I wanna do that outside tomorrow. So I have a bunch of like big pieces of cardboard. I'm just gonna like lay it out in the yard and do it that way. I think it does say this is non-toxic and like is okay to be sprayed inside, but I also just like need a lot of space, and I think I'll make less of a mess that way. I've never used it before. So anyway, I did look at the remnants pile at Joann's, and look at this shit. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. How could I not? How could I not? Heavily discounted, deeply chaotic cat fabric. Of course I'm gonna purchase. Oh my god, it's so soft. It's so soft. I'm either gonna make a cardigan or just like a pullover sweatshirt with this. I love it. And then I walked by this fabric multiple times and then finally caved and was like, okay. And then I got some fold over elastic to make this into some skirts. So there it is. And now my battery's gonna die because I have just been off the rails today. So I'm gonna go work on Doctor Who trivia at the brewery, maybe spray based stuff once I'm home, see how I'm feeling. If not, I'll do it tomorrow, and the game will be built. That's the important part. I might bring my memory card while this is charging and work on getting the video started if I have time once the game is built. It's gonna be fine. I want to make the game and I want to edit, so just again listening to myself. See you tomorrow, hopefully, if I don't spontaneously combust. Okay, it is the next day. It's 4 in the afternoon. The trivia game is done. The only thing I need, well, it's all put together now. Everything's printed out. All the answer sheets are cut up. I feel very weird. I ended up going to bed very late last night, but I slept in, so I felt like I was well rested enough to like, I don't know. I'm just trying to eat some ravioli. That'll like fill my stomach, even though I had a big breakfast not all that long ago. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with me. The trivia game generally only lasts like an hour and a half, so it's not such a strenuous time, but like I obviously have a lot of nerves going into it, and I feel like people aren't as hyped about this one, and I'm trying not to like take it personally, although you never know until people actually show up. But let me know if y'all would be interested in me like doing maybe a live stream and doing some of these quizzes with y'all, because I have a Lord of the Rings one made up where there's 2 visual rounds, 2 question rounds, and like some bonus questions and stuff where you can like bet your answers. I have a Star Wars one as well, and then I have this Doctor Who one, and like these nights at the brewery are the only use for it. So I think that would be kind of fun, right? Let me know. I think that could be a blast. Also, it would like give me something to do instead of just ramble at y'all for 3 hours. I straight up forgot Bert was back here because he's been so quiet, just snoozing while I've been working. And you're the goodest boy. I know he's always bummed when I am gone for the night, but this does also mean he gets early dinner, so I don't think he's going to complain about that. Yeah. You are so cute, baby. You're such a smiley boy. Yeah. I thought I would show you. The course of the game is, I give a little preamble, just introducing myself, letting people know what the prizes are, give an outline of the game. I also like to just give a little like, hey, we're all here to have fun, and I'm not gonna babysit everyone. Like, we're all adults, so just be cool. Essentially setting the ground rules, like, don't be a dick and cheat and stuff. Like, we're all here to play a literal game. Before the game even starts, before I start talking to anybody, I have people either come up and grab these or I hand them out. Where there's 2 sheets. Aren't these really good? Paper clips. I hand out 2 answer sheets that are numbered 1 through 10, and then I have just like a bonus scrap of paper. And we never know how many people are going to come out for this, so I try to come prepared with like 12 teams. And then I do have printed out, I'm not going to show you just in case we end up doing them on here, but I do print out visual rounds where this one photos and then numbered answers, and everyone just fills that in, and I have like a spot for them to write their team name, stuff like that. So these are the worksheets I like bring with me to hand out. Just some sharpened pencils that I bring so people can write their own answers, because I always have pens with me, but I know most people don't. One of the people I work with at the brewery has a whole like DJ audio setup, so he's gonna have the speaker system in place for me. I'll do a quick test run. It's for almost 4:30 now, and I haven't gone over yet, but we still have plenty of time to do it beforehand, because I was just feeling a little off and I wanted to give myself time to relax. Anyway, so usually the brewery gives away a couple gift cards for first and second place. I don't remember the amounts they usually do, and they're not beholden to any certain amount, so even if they change it, it's fine. And then this time, because they're gift cards that get handed out, and I have 3 of these, I figured first and second place can have gift cards inside little keychain bags, and then third place can just get a keychain bag without anything in it. I thought it would be cute. Yeah, the actual game is 10 question round. Then while I'm scoring that, I'll show you my score sheet in a minute. While I'm scoring that, I have them take a visual round, and then they fill out those answers. So yeah, they do one of the visual rounds, they hand that in once they're done. Some people do it like immediately, some people like keep it until I call for them. And then once those are all scored, I'll read the answers to both rounds. Then I will move on to the second question round, work through that, and then once those answer sheets get handed in, they will take the second visual round, and then while they're filling that in, once all of those in, I'll give everybody's answers. I also give like the scores at each point when I'm recapping stuff. So then once everyone knows their scores and what positions everyone's in, then I do a bonus round that involves, like, you can bet some points on your answer. So I have a couple options, because one could be really hard, but one might not be too bad. Some malleability with that answer, and just kind of like gauge the room and see where everyone's at with it. And then if I don't use that one at all, I have other like backup questions that could be used for tiebreakers or used for the bet round. Like, I like to have some backups just in case they're necessary, because I needed 3 tiebreaker questions for the Star Wars game, because 2 teams got everything right and then kept getting the but they were hard questions. I like to just have some extra stuff on deck. I think it'll be fine. And then yeah, then everything is handed out, and while I'm scoring stuff, I put music on, where otherwise it's just me talking into the mic. I'm still getting comfortable doing that. Listen, I'm a socially anxious baby. The upside of doing these, and why I don't mind live streams as much though, I get so sweaty and like frantic, and I talk faster and a little bit more animated than I can sometimes otherwise be. But I can edit myself on here, and like it's at my own pace. And like when I am looking at the camera, like I know some of y'all are gonna see it. Like I actively think of, I mean, I guess I've met a couple of y'all in person, or like have pictures to go off of, but sometimes it's literally just like, I think of your username icons, and it's like I'm sending it out to a group of y'all, where when I'm hosting trivia, these people are literally looking at me while I'm speaking to the room at large, so it's just a little more daunting. That's the first deep breath I've been able to take in a hot minute, so I'll take it. And, oh, yes, let me show you my score sheet because I found it very helpful. I love doing spreadsheets, but I didn't know, like, how to do one that, like, did math for me. And then someone recommended doing it, like having someone help me with it. And I was like, I didn't even know that was an option to have it do math for you. It was just incredibly helpful. Oh, we only had 8 teams last time. I thought we had more. Oh, we only had 7 teams. Just kidding. They were bigger teams though. We're like, I'd probably call it a limit of like 6, but it hasn't been an issue so far. These are the scores from last time. So I found it helpful having the team names on both sides, just because when I'm reading the total points over here is helpful. And then as I add each score, like say this team actually got 17 points for that round. If you look at that black column for Skull Crushers, it's going to change the total for me. So it cuts out that part of the user error. And obviously I can add more rows if there ends up being more teams than I have here, but this has served me pretty well. And then I did ask a friend that runs trivia, or like has run a lot of trivia in the past, and his recommendation was like, just super fact check your stuff, like leave no room for question about interpretation, like do your homework with the questions and answers and make sure. There was a question about the color of something, and again, I did my homework, especially Star Wars being the first one. I feel like that's one people get really nitpicky about, as far as like being a girl running the game and getting any fake geek girl comments. Like everyone was cool, but this one guy had been like texting his friends after he got the answers for stuff, and his friends texting him back were arguing what my answer was to the question I asked and trying to like argue it via this guy. And I was like, I promise I did my research. Like, if you can back it up, I mean, he wasn't going to win anyway. It's not like it was 1 point off from being the winning team. So as far as like prizes, it didn't matter, but like it bummed me out that this guy was like questioning that. And not that I'm not someone that could dare be questioned or second guessed, but like, why are we doing this? Just because your friends are texting you about it and they're like, we know more Star Wars than anybody, is the vibe he was giving me about his friends. And then next time that guy came in, and I was just like working the tap room that day, he came in and apologized and was like, yeah, my friends didn't know what they were talking about. Like, I got home and I like checked the scene you were referencing and it's exactly what you said it was. I was like, I promise I put a lot of time and effort into this. So like, not to be like, I know I was right, but I don't take the game lightly. Yeah, okay. I'll let you know how it goes. Maybe I'm going to put the camera in my bag and then hopefully remember to film something while I'm there. I will check in later. Insert sad trombone noise here. So I didn't show any of the trivia game because it didn't end up happening because nobody came out for it. I know it's this week, like school is back in session next week for the local places for our state, and I know a lot of people try to take their vacations this week. There's a lot of weddings and like baby showers this little chunk of the month, and I know that there are some people close to me whose birthdays are in August. I don't want to dismiss an entire month, but historically, August has been my least favorite month of most years, and it's this whole week started out, I should have known I was gonna feel off. So like my body wasn't in like prime condition to start with today, but I've just felt really out of it, and like I was starting to feel kind of dizzy before the game. So honestly, I was relieved it wasn't happening. And I was joking, like, my lovely dear friend Jamie came out because nobody was interested in playing. Everyone I went up to ask, because there were some people at the brewery. It was very quiet, apparently, like, every local business has been really, really dead all week. So I know it's not me running a bad game and, like, getting a bad reputation and people not thinking I put a fun trivia night together. I know it's not necessarily like Doctor Who itself, because I can understand someone myself included, not watching recent seasons and not knowing, oh, we're going to be talking about certain chunks of Doctor Who. Where like I'm not well versed in like old school Doctor Who. I'm not well versed in current Doctor Who. I kind of only know like late 2000s, early 2010s. So that's what I focused on because that's what I know. And like I build the game from scratch. I come up with all the questions. I think my relief in not feeling particularly with it today, like I would have forged through and it would have been fine. But not having to be on and host a whole game, I would have done it, but it would have taken a lot more out of me than it would on like a normal regular day, regular week, whatever. The relief of that is mostly outweighing the like rejection sensitivity because it's hard not to take it hard. Also, that's not necessarily like people probably had other obligations. We may mess with like the start time of the game going forward because our first one was at 6:30, but then it, tap room closes at 8. People hung out like well after 8 o'clock because I ended the game around 8. So we switched it to 6 and I ended right around 7:30. So I think if I just try to like move the game along a little quicker and be cognizant of the fact that we want to end by 7:30 or like as close as we can get and still start at 6:30, I think that's okay. When I'm looking back at the whole week and the fact that like half of the work I put in this week just feels all for naught. It feels like this whole week has been a failure, and I know that's not true. Where I still haven't spray basted those foam pieces because I still haven't ironed out all the other stuff because it was hotter today than it was yesterday, and like I didn't want to sit over the iron, and then I didn't end up having time to do it today. Where I think tomorrow will be perfect for pressing stuff out. Problem being it's going to be rainy, so I can't spray baste anything outside. And again, it's non-toxic spray. It'll be fine to spray inside. I just thought it would be a good use of space, but I'll just put newspaper down. I don't know. This feels like a bummer note to end the things on. Nobody coming up. I feel like the wind has been taken out of my sails, and of course it's bringing up like the last of my own events that I did as far as markets back in May and why I haven't been able to get myself to do any more, especially outdoor ones, in months because I just felt so defeated and like maybe I'm not cut out to do event-based jobs because I take it so personally and am so hard on myself when it doesn't pan out. We're like, I don't have control over people being on vacation this week. I don't have control over Facebook changing how they put stuff out to people in their feed. So like, not how I was hoping tonight was going to end, but it's starting to melt. But listen, I'm a monster person and I don't mind melty ice cream, but I have a pile of coffee Oreo ice cream I'm very much looking forward to eating. I have a fresh edition of The Hippo, which is a local paper that comes out, and they have really good crosswords in Sudokus and stuff, like good puzzles. So my knee-jerk response to, it's like a little after 9 right now. Oh, it's 9:22. My thought is like, well, because this whole week has felt like a wash, I feel like I should start editing this tonight so that I'm ahead of it for tomorrow, because I never leave my editing until the day of. Like, I usually have my video edited by Wednesday latest if it's going up Friday. So I hate that I haven't started any of this yet, and this video, I have every intention of posting it tomorrow. I need to be kind to myself and give myself some space because I haven't done that much at all this whole week. And I feel like I've been fighting it the whole time, and I think I just need to like let some feelings out, eat my feelings a little bit, and just do comfort things like some puzzles and put on some movie. I'm just gonna kind of like impulsively pick something that feels like a comfort film. Let myself relax, because I haven't really done that at all this week. And I've just been a dick to myself the whole time. And it's like prolonging the inevitable is how it currently feels. So I'm gonna try not to fight the feelings. Just like let whatever is gonna happen take its course of action. And I get like the last one I posted these, I was super sick. I ended up being insanely ill for like 10 days straight. So that was not a fun time. I don't even know, man. But I I hope this is interesting. I don't know. I don't mind watching an honest look at someone else's daily life kind of thing. So like, I'm really sorry if you feel like I'm being dramatic. I feel like I'm being dramatic, but I'm just sharing how I'm feeling about things at the moment, and it doesn't feel great. I know I still got so much other work done, and I have a lot of good things like in the pipeline. They're just not check offable on my list yet, so it doesn't feel done. So I feel like I haven't actually gotten anything done. But every day I've been working towards good things, and that's going to count for something, you know? And it's also okay to not be productive 24/7. I know I have a really big problem with like putting all my personal value on my output, and just existing is also okay. So I'm going to try to just exist tonight. It feels like a weird time to say this, but I know I'm wrapping up, and I want to make sure I mention it, because genuinely it's why I'm able to just like take a little break this evening. Thank you so fucking much to everyone over on Patreon, because I would be having a much harder time with a lot of things. Not to put pressure on any of you. It's not your job to like keep me afloat, but I deeply, deeply appreciate how much y'all care and want me to do my thing. So thank you for being here. I'm gonna go. I will have a video up next Friday. And Bert's making the saddest little noises. Oh. Bert and I are so thankful that you have... And Bert and I would like to say thank you. And little Bert would like to say thank you so much for hanging out. That'll have spoochy bitches. Cool. Spooky bitches. Oops. Oh god. I'm gonna have a fabric lunch. Alright, we're going with the dish. Oh no.